have not spoken to my parents for 24 years. After all, that happened when I was young. I never thought I would ever want to speak to them again. Yet now, with the sad news that my mother is very sick and does not have much time left, I feel confused and hurt. I am caught between old pain and the new life I have built without them. My story starts when I was 15 years old. I found out I was pregnant. I lived at home with very strict parents who always told me I was wrong. When I learned about the baby, they told me I must end the pregnancy because they did not approve of my choices. I was very young and hoped that if I worked hard to care for my baby, they might love me someday. Instead, I felt only disappointment and anger from them. The father of my child was also a teenager. His parents were not very happy at first, but they showed us more kindness than my own family ever did. I got a job as a waitress at a relative's restaurant. I worked mostly at night and on weekends. My boyfriend worked at his father's auto parts store. Every dollar we earned was saved carefully. We wanted to show the world that even though we were young, we could take care of our baby. My own parents, however, were set on stopping me. They told me every day that this baby would ruin my life. The tension in my home grew until one day they threw me out. I was very scared and alone. Luckily, my boyfriend's parents took me in and gave me a place to stay. I began to build a new life on my own, though the hurt of being rejected stayed with me. Then one day, my parents called and said they were sorry. They said they had gone too far and wanted to fix things. A small part of me hoped that they had changed. My boyfriend's parents also told me to give them a chance. They said, "You must not lose hope. Sometimes people can change." I wanted to believe them, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. I was at my parents' house when I went into labor. Early that afternoon, I felt strong pain and knew it was time. My mother said we must go to the hospital at once. I asked if they had called my boyfriend or his family, but they told me no one was available. I was in so much pain that I did not question their words. I trusted them even though I had my doubts. At the hospital, I was quickly wrapped in blankets and taken to a delivery room. My parents stood beside me. Hours passed as I went through a very hard and painful labor. Finally, I held my newborn son, a tiny boy with dark hair and a soft blanket around him. For a few precious moments, I felt a great joy that made all the pain seem to vanish. Then barely an hour later, my mother returned with a stack of papers. She called them administrative forms that I needed to sign to finish the hospital process. I was very tired and trusted her. I signed the papers without reading them carefully. I was only 16 and did not know what was really in those papers. Days later, I learned the truth in a way that broke my heart. Those papers were not normal forms. They were adoption papers. My baby had been taken from me as if he were not my own. I felt so confused and heartbroken. The nurses and staff helped me leave the hospital and my parents went with me. Their faces showed no real sadness, only a firm look as if they had done their duty. At that moment, I swore I would never speak to them again. I cut all ties with them. Years passed slowly. At 19, I married my boyfriend in a small, simple wedding at the courthouse. Later, we had a small celebration at his parents' home. We did not care for grand parties. We just wanted to be together and build a future. A year after our wedding, I gave birth to a daughter. My husband was very careful and made sure that everything was safe for our family. He even arranged for his own family to be at the hospital that day. It was a small act that made us feel safe and protected. Our family grew over the years. We had 4 children in total, yet deep in my heart I always missed the son who was taken from me so long ago. Every birthday without him made the wound hurt again. I prayed that he was safe and that he was loved by another family who took care of him. My husband and I found small ways to remember and honor my lost son. Each year on his birthday, my husband would put a little tribute on a shelf. a tiny toy car. I would bake a special sponge pudding. We would light a candle, sing a soft birthday song, and take a family picture. These small traditions helped us keep his memory alive and made our pain a little easier to bear. Then, 4 years ago, something unexpected happened. I was away at a softball camp with my older daughter when my husband called me. His voice was shaky, and I knew something was wrong. I hurried home, my heart pounding with worry. When I arrived, I saw a young man in our living room. He looked very familiar. It was as if I was looking at the son I had lost. At that moment, all the years of pain and longing seemed to melt away. My long-lost son had come back to us on his own. The reunion was raw and full of emotion. We cried, hugged, and talked for hours. Slowly, our family began to heal. We started to make new memories, and my heart grew a little lighter, knowing that my son was finally with us again. A few weeks ago, I received another shock. My father called my husband's parents with startling news. My mother is now terminally ill. The same parents who once tore my life apart by taking my baby now said they were very sorry. They wanted to make up for the past before it was too late. Their apology came at a time when they were losing their chance to mend things, and I felt both anger and sorrow. I remain very upset over the loss and the many years of pain they caused me. I wonder if I should let them back into my life at all. Now, I stand at a crossroads. I must decide whether to let my estranged parents come back into my life, even for a short time, or to keep the past locked away forever. The thought of reopening old wounds fills me with both anger and deep sadness. My heart tells me that I must protect the family I have built. My husband, my children, and the son we fought so hard to bring back, even if that means keeping my parents at a safe distance. Every day I go to therapy and lean on my close friends for support. I work hard to create a future where my children know love, stability, and care. Even though the scars of betrayal are still there, they remind me of the strength it takes to rebuild a broken life. I know that healing is a slow and winding road, full of twists and turns that I must face one step at a time. I now understand that my story is not one of simple right or wrong. It is a tale of a young girl forced to grow up too fast, of deep pain caused by those who should have loved and protected me, and of a long journey toward hope and healing. My choices in moments of desperation have shaped my life, and I continue to live with the memory of my lost son and the hard lessons of my past. Yet I also see that every new day is a chance to rebuild and to love again. We all face moments when our lives are broken by betrayal and loss. I am still learning to forgive, even myself, and every day I take a small step toward healing. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this story meaningful, please like and subscribe for more real-life stories.